Hey guys, I am here today with a discuss this on something that I believe to be extremely serious. It's called slut-shaming, and I want to talk about how it makes us perceive other people and why it's wrong and why we should take notice of it when we see it in a book that we're reading. Okay, so let's start off with what slut-shaming is. Slut-shaming is any comment or activity or action, really, that encourages the stigma or the notion that a person's sexual activity or status is directly correlated to their personal worth. When I just say it like that, it sounds really preposterous, and you'd think, well, who would do that? You're not who you sleep with, yada yada. You'd be surprised. I really want to talk about why it's wrong before I talk about why I'm so disgusted by the examples that I see in YA literature. Of course, this is a discuss this. That means I want you guys to have an open, honest discussion with me in the comments, make a video response, whatever you want to do. This is just really near and dear to my heart because I feel very strongly about... Let's get really specific. I feel really strongly about females putting down other females. There are a lot of women fighting for women's rights and women's equality right now, especially in regards to the rights of our body and what we are allowed to do with them and what the government is allowed to regulate. That aside, if we are all being catty and clawing at each other and ripping each other down, it doesn't provide a really good united front for that. I see it in YA literature. I'm supposed to have, mind you, and when I see that people are making it seem like it's so okay to slut shame, it makes me so incredibly disturbed. So why slut shaming is wrong at its very basic. Slut shaming perpetuates an outdated myth that should have died in its time, but unfortunately didn't. If it's someone's personal choice to remain abstinent until marriage or until they have been in a relationship for a certain amount of time, or just not to have sex, period, that's their choice, and that is them exercising their right to do so. But I'm not talking about celibacy or abstinence. I am talking about the trend that I've been seeing a lot of in YA literature that says if someone chooses not to live an abstinent lifestyle or chooses to exercise their freedom sexually, then that completely obliterates all of their other good qualities. It automatically makes them a bad person. They're not allowed to be nice. They're not allowed to be generous or charitable. They are automatically banned from being good. I know that this sounds ridiculous the way that I'm explaining it, and that you're thinking that no one would ever say this, and that, you know, it doesn't make sense to see that in a YA book. You would be wrong. But I am aware that this is not a single gender problem. I get that guys go through this. I get that guys are slut-shamed, and I get that sometimes they are put down for not sleeping around, like that they get put down for not losing their virginity and that they're called less of a man for it. But this is not what this video is about. And I'm really sorry. Maybe I'll get to it if there's a big uproar about it. But because there isn't, and because this is what I'm really trying to get to the heart of, I think it's so important that young women especially should be taught that they are more than their hymens. The reason I'm bringing all of this up is because I was reading Crenscendo by Becca Fitzpatrick. This book is the second in the saga of Hush Hush Saga. It's picking up basically where the first book left off. Yada yada. You can look at my review. I'll post a link in the Undivar. But in this book, Crenscendo, the villain, I'm not even going to say the bad guy, the villain, the arch nemesis, as it's described in the synopsis of the book, is another teenaged high school girl whose only fault is that she's not sweet to Nora. Nora is the main character of the thing. Wearing a low-cut tank top doesn't make you a villain. However, if we're just calling her a slut and not, you know, a villain, let's just say that my argument is invalid and we're just defining slut. Slut can be defined so loosely nowadays. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. This is what a slut is, according to any girl who has ever walked the planet ever and has used that term. A girl who has sex for pleasure. A girl who has sex with someone who is her boyfriend. A girl who has sex with someone who is not her boyfriend. A girl who flirts. A girl who wears makeup. A girl who is successful. A girl who wears tank tops. A girl who wears skirts and or high heels. Or even a girl who just speaks her mind can be called a slut. Basically, if you're a female or identify as a female, other people have reserved the right to call you a slut. None of those things makes you a slut. I want to read to you guys 2 quotes from the book Crenscendo by Becca Fitzpatrick. These are pretty much what sparked this video, and I want you guys to understand why it's so wrong to be okay with slut-shaming in YA books, where the heroine is supposed to take the high road, and where the heroine is supposed to be someone we all look up to and idolize, and can be a role model. This is not okay. If this is what the main character, heroine, whoever, associates herself with, or is okay with saying about other people, that's not a good character to be reading about. It says here, Marcy puts out, said V. That's the only reason. She's a pig, a rat. So because Marcy has sex, just has sex, because Marcy has sex, she is a pig and a rat. Wow. They did not teach me that in sex ed. They didn't tell me that once you have intercourse, you change species. Twice. The second quote is just, it blows my mind that it's in a book and everyone's okay with it. And here's another thing. Whore, in junior high, I hadn't even kissed anyone. Marcy should have spray painted her own locker. So you're calling her a prostitute because she got a first kiss before you did. Basically, Marcy can sleep with as many people as she wants. It's not your body, and you don't have the right to govern it. You don't even have the right to comment on it. You can, sure, we can't stop you, but what's the point? Why are you bringing down someone else for something that doesn't affect you at all? And why are we, as readers, allowing it to happen and letting it pass? I don't agree with the things that the main character has been doing. The main character, the virgin, oh, I don't even know I did virgin. She's not a virgin. She's a virgin. But Nora, the main character, she does things that are very, very shady and not nice and extremely malicious towards Marcy. And Nora never gets blamed for it. Marcy, on the other hand, has done nothing but exercise her sexual freedom, allegedly, and yet she's the villain of the entire book. This twist of perception is extremely convincing because we are zoned in on Nora. That's who we are fighting for. That's who we've been backing since page 1 of book 1. And here we are, book 2, and everything that she's saying is in her opinion. This is her mind that we're reaching into and trying to settle ourselves into. And when we take a step back, That's all you need to do. Just when you read a book and something sounds iffy, or you finish a chapter, just summarize what just happened in that chapter from a completely unbiased, point of view. Slut shaming is not okay, because that's not how we should treat other people. Not just girls, other people. They don't deserve it, and we don't really have the right to say. It's not fair, and we shouldn't be seeing it from the people we're supposed to be rooting for, and be okay with it. It's not okay at all. If you've seen or noticed any slut shaming in any other YA novels, I would love to hear about it, because I have been actively looking for them in the books that I'm reading, and I've actually found it in the book that I'm going to be reviewing next, the book Wrecked that I was just talking about in my other video. Yeah, it's in there, hardcore in there. So I might mention it in like a writer's review, but that's not going to be a constant theme that I'm looking for. It's just something that I noticed, like plot development, characterization, setting, voice, narration. It's slut shaming now. Slut shaming's in there. I just look for it, just like I look for grammar mistakes. I love finding typos in published books. Anyway, so let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you not agree? What are your personal experiences with slut shaming? Have you called somebody some names that you probably shouldn't have? Because I know I have, and I feel bad about it. Let me know. This is very important, and it needs to get more attention, because this is not the way that our heroines should be acting, and we shouldn't allow it to be completely passed over. Yeah? Great. Bye, guys. I'll see you next video.